Pea Shooter. It's been buffed significantly but it's still boring basic BI*CH Pea Shooter. B+ tier. Sunflower. Sunflower is a crutch that makes the game way too easy if you plant more than 3 in an entire campaign. S effectiveness, D tier funness. Cherry Bomb. It's a good get out of jail free card if you made a mistake that was entirely your fault, and speaking of things that are your fault. Wallnut. The best thing about the walnut is the fact that explosions will cause it to roll away and bounce off zombies. Most people describe this as a nerf. Those people are stupid and clearly don't know how to exploit overpowered mechanics to dominate a game made for 9-year-old kids. It's also a wall, I guess, but no one cares about that. Okay, everyone cares about that. No one whose life actually matters cares about that. Both A tier. Potato Mine. They nerfed this plant into the they nerfed the HLL out of the potato. It takes almost 2 minutes for it to finish cooking. You can plant other things on it. If that plant is eaten, the potato will instantly pop out and maybe kill the zombie if its scrawny hurt box decides to cooperate. F. Snow Pea. Absolutely broken now even though it didn't change much. S. Chomper. Chomper makes me sad. It can instantly kill gargantuans and cars assuming it isn't chewing, which is an unrealistic assumption to make without a considerable amount of TFM. Sadness tier. Repeater. It's only slightly better than a regular pea shooter and it costs more than double. This thing is CR*P. D+. Night. Puffy. They nerfed the SH*T out of this plant in the most recent patch and now night level 1 is almost impossible. But it's still a tier. Sunners. It is worse than sunflowers on every level. C tier effectiveness, A tier funds. Fuming. It's Vishnu's beaver dam Fume Shroom, you cucking casual. You don't need me to explain anything about it. You already know darn well what tier it goes in. GraveBuster. It's really good. It is so unbelievably useful, but it crashes the game about 15% of the time. The game enters slideshow mode as it crunches, and if you plant something while the game is lagging, the plant will instantly die and its cooldown will be twice as long. But it's so good and I doubt EA is going to let PopCap waste time fixing this game. A reluctant A. Hypno Shroom. It's really good now. Ice and butter can slow or stop the zombies without screwing over its attack speed. 15 zombies can bite a hypno before killing it. Unfortunately, zombies do have to take a bite, not just touch it. There are actually people who think Hypno Shroom was better in the original version because of this. These are the same people who say the Star Wars prequels are worth watching in their entirety without fast-forwarding through almost all of the movie. These people actually like The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. You know, those series that deserve to be burned and then castrated, so that no one will ever have to suffer at their hands again. Text on screen. Greater than Voyager is the best Star Trek in my objectively correct superior opinion, less than S tier, and don't you dare let anyone tell you otherwise. PSSY Shroom. Scardy Shroom was always good and it is still good. Serious question. Do you try to use a shotgun at long range and then complain that shotguns suck or sniper rifles at melee range? Do you try to zone people out with Zangief and then say Streets of Rage sucks when you lose? Do you bong cloud thinking it is the best option? Scardy Shroom is fine, you just suck at the game. Now it's even better because you idiots kept trying to use it like a Chomper or Cherry Bomb in the original, and then complained when it didn't meet your asinine expectations. S. Doom. Meh, it's nowhere near as good as it thinks it is or as good as PopCap thinks it is. C-. Ice Shroom. Doom Shroom wishes it was half as good as Ice Shroom, and I wish Ice Shroom wasn't a Nazi. Unfortunately, neither of us can have nice things. I'm legally required to put it in S tier. Cool. Lily Pad. Plants will now flail around in the water for a good 2 minutes before drowning, so lily pads are kinda unnecessary outside of survival and versus mode. F. Squash. Discount Cherry Bomb, but if you're one of those people that hated Rise of Skywalker and you can't do the basic trigonometry required to bowl over every zombie on the screen with the Walnut Cherry strat, then I guess you can use Squash to protect your precious wall like a loser. I'm not going to dignify Squash with a position on the list. ThreePeater. I guess if you play with sunflowers it can be okay, but it's too expensive for those who play the game the objectively correct unoptimal way. D. Tangle Kelp. Tangle Kelp looks so cool, I wish it didn't suck. Sadness tier. Jalapeno. The Red Hot Chili Peppers are one of the blandest and most overrated bands in the sunflower. SpikeWeed. It's never optimal, but it's always fine if you're not feeling very creative at the time. C+ tier. TorchWood. Snow peas don't turn into regular peas anymore and they get splash damage that chills. TorchWood will instantly kill the first 15 zombies that try to eat it. Regular burning peas have a 30 or something % chance to pierce while still exploding like some physics-defying bull's tea from Diablo 2. Bold walnuts can be set on fire. Puff, C and Scardies will stat poison on a zombie that lingers until it dies. We all know exactly what Fume Shrooms does and how to exploit its TFM. Cactus will shoot exploding spikes that pierce through everything. Blover completely invalidates Jalapeno unless you did something horrible and zombies are behind TorchWood. Star fruits will do whatever the N** acid wants randomly and magnet shrooms will do 1 splash damage with Doom Shroom's range whenever it kleptos something. Tall nut. Nut allergy zombies are significantly more common and their stomach will explode if they eat a tenth of a walnut worth of tall nut. If it dies they fall like 2 squashes to splatter zombies. It can occasionally one-shot gargantuans if it's just the right distance away and both hitboxes overlap. You can very easily solo the rest of the campaign with just tall nuts, but it's as boring as heteroexual S**X or playing any EA game that isn't Kingdoms of Amalur or Mass Effect 3. Okay, that's harsh. Heterosexual X is so much worse than playing PvZ with tall nuts only in Mass Effect Andromeda was. Fine. C. Fog. SeaShroom. They really should have reduced the cooldown. Now that plants float for a bit there's no reason to not just use Puff. F. Plantern. It lets you see into vases. S. Cactus. 50% of bullets pierce, eating it now does SpikeRock amounts of damage. It grows on the roof to attack, it grows underwater and doesn't drown. It is now kinda okay. B. Blover. Nobody cares. Star fruit. They nerfed its damage and fire rate greatly and pretty much everything, but despite everything it's still easily top 2. S+. Pumpkin. Outside of survival mode pumpkins are very redundant now, they still do good pumpel-kunkle things. It's 6 AM, no, I didn't just barely get up. Whatever, I'm going to sleep tier. I'll fix this in the final draft. Magnetic shrooms. You it just fu can ya, you know okay now I'm going to bed. Roof. CabbagePult. Substantially worse Pea Shooter, even on the roof. Don't use it ever again after unlocking the flower pot. F-. Flower pot. Insanely good. Zombies have to walk an extra 2 steps before they can eat a plant in a pot and they vor them 70% slower. Sun producers make sun 200% faster. Every plant should be in a pot at all times once you unlock it. S. KernalPult. Yes, you should use the pornapult you dumb botard. A+. Coffee bean. Mushrooms take 3.5 minutes before they fall asleep. It's not very useful outside of survival and versus and maybe vase breaker. F. Also why the *UCK do mushrooms sleep, that makes no sense and there's no way that's a real thing. Umbrella leaf. I love Umbrella leaf so much. I fantasize about her doing gay things in my mouth as she FCKs me until my spine shatters. She is by far the most beautiful woman in the sunflower. I want to humiliate myself by failing to pleasure a goddess such as herself. If anyone even slightly inconveniences her I will torture them for the rest of their life and will stop at nothing to make sure it has a long life. I will ensure they can't enjoy the bliss of death. Because they know I will have a spare prison cell when they're gone. It will be used to house everyone they have ever loved as well as the rotting body that dared to hurt the woman I love. I will force them to eat the corpse and when they're done I will make them choke on the remaining bones. But before they die I'll pull the bone out and beat them to another inch of their life. It will be left there to dehydrate. And again that's only for people who inconvenience her. Just imagine what I'd do to someone who does something worse or what I'm willing to do if she asks. Also she kinda sucks. A very generous C tier. Garlic. Zombies will instantly switch lanes after just touching garlic, but it dies after moving one zombie. Garlic died so Hypno Shrooms could run and fuck your grown A**s child at the same time and then kill your offspring in an accidental, autoerotic asphyxiation accident. But is it better than CabbagePult? Yes. C. MariGold. She isn't going to help you win the battle but she will help fund the war. A. WinterMelon. No, dropping a watermelon or 2 or several on your enemies is not an effective strategy tier. Upgrades and imitator. GatlinPea. Remember when I called ThreePeater a worthless J that never should have been in this game? GatlinPea is the only reason you should ever plant ThreePeater, B tier. Twin flower. It kills all challenge in the game, S+ obviously. GloomShroom. I don't want to talk about Gloopy Gloomy. Should you upgrade Fume? What kind of stupid question is that? CatTail. Remember when I said that lily pad should kill H myself? I stand by that. CatTail sucks hard crunchy **t meow. F. WinterMelon. It sucks and is by far the worst thing in the game. Very top of S+ tier. What the FK was your name og? I never mind, no one cares. SpikeRock. It is the only unkillable plant in the game, so plant it next to the bushes. You don't even have to worry about cars again and it will solo all basic bit H zombies. If you do the glitch that lets you plant SpikeWeed in a flower pot, zombies will not be able to get past it if it is upgraded to Spike Stalactite or the other one or whatever. S+. CobCannon. It's terrible, it doesn't bowl walnuts. F tier even though it's just as good as it's always been. Imitator. There are very few times where you actually need 20 unique plants, so Imitator is a no-brainer. F tier. DLC. Forest Fire. Blocks all friendly projectiles, has double tall nut health and zombies eat it 50% slower because it is a Fu King tree that is on fire in case you didn't notice. Cabbages and melons do more splash damage. Butter will melt and split mid-air, kernels turn into popcorn that bounce and explode off every zombie's head. Winter melons do more damage and have a larger splash radius. CobCannons set fire to the entire map but makes the tile you attacked unplantable for the rest of the level. S. ThreePeater. Just use this instead of CatTail if you want to attack all 5 to 6 lanes. 8 out of 10. Sgt Pepper. If you're fast enough to plant it on a jalapeno before it explodes, you will often be disappointed by the vertical fire wall unless you're a J coward that doesn't cherry bomb your walnuts and blocks off an entire row, then I guess it's fine. C tier. Lawn Blover. You will never have enough sun to use this when you need it. But if 3 red-eyed gargantuan and a yeti want to kill you, then sure, wipe out the entire lane. F+. Jack-o'-lantern. If you want your plants to do bonus fire damage, just use TorchWood, it's not that hard. Obvious exception for star fruit, always put starfy in AJO. D tier for everything that isn't starfruit. Gympie-Gympie. What's even the point of making all non-gargantuan, car, and yetis commit suicide if I'm no longer looking at Umbrella Leaf, the greatest woman that could possibly exist? Hentai Tentacle Ultra-Violence Monster, I don't remember what its real name was. Morally, you probably shouldn't plant it, because that means you bought the DLC and gave EA money, but if you do plant it, it will help you win S tier. Imitator. It is often better to have 15 unique plants as opposed to 2 of the same plant. A tier. If you disagree with anything I said or any of the tier placements, then you're a Nazi.